In the 1960s, Triang produced a small range of completely knocked down kits, as they termed them. I had a British Railways Princess Elizabeth 46201 and a couple of Parcels Brake Coaches which were CKD. There follows a short cine film showing my layout in my parents' loft in around 1968. I'll try to point out the Princess and also a stationary EM2 electric locomotive which I still have in original condition. After the cine, we'll take a look at both of those. This is the EM2. For its age, it's a great looking model. I believe two versions were made, being 27000 Electra and this one 27002 Aurora. They were initially released in green and later in blue. This particular one was a CKD version. This is the power bogie. It's very similar to the old Class 31 and 37 bogies, except that the casting is different and there's a slight change to the top electrical connection. The casting also has the letter R for return and I for isolated on each side. The reason for that is the return is used whether the pantograph or track power is being used. It's therefore important that when the locomotive is running from the catenary, it sits on the track the correct way round. The top connection is powered either from the track or the pantographs. The body is brass connections which make contact with the bogie. There's also a contact from the pantographs to a brass sliding section which you'll see in a moment. The retaining clip is also a switch. This is the part that gets power from the pantograph. The power is now on. The roof is a sliding vent that couples to the retaining clip and allows the operator to move between track and catenary power. When the locomotive is operating on pantograph power, another locomotive operating conventionally on dual track power can actually run on the same track independently. Turning now to the Princess. In my youth, I decided to make my railway based on LMS. So I painted the locomotive in LMS red, Crimson Lake maybe. Seems I also managed to get some transfers to do with the LMS lettering and the locomotive number. The idea of lining it was too much to think about then, and even now. I also added a smoke unit. This would probably have been around 1975. I can't recall when, but sometime later I acquired a 6201 Princess Elizabeth in LMS red. So I removed the name on the older locomotive and changed the number from 6201 to 6203, which is the running number of the Princess Margaret Rose. So that locomotive remained without a name on its side for many, many years. More recently, I scanned an image of a Princess Margaret Rose name, printed it and glued it to a locomotive. As you can see, it's not really that great. I noticed recently a model purporting to be Princess Margaret Rose for sale on eBay, based on a Triang Princess. It clearly had its issues, but it had rather good nameplates. So I found through an internet search they were most likely produced by a company called Silver Tay Models. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I found them on eBay and I bought a set. They come with nameplates for either side and a number for the front. They provide the British Railways and the LMS numbers, and they also helpfully provide a couple of transfers with the number should you want to use it on the sides of the cab. This is the result. Clearly the model itself's not the best given the rather crude painting and lack of lining, but it's got a lot of sentimental value, complete with the paint curtains on the side of the tender. Here's a short running session with it and its sister 6201, which is pulling the completely knocked down parcel coaches and 2 Royal Mail coaches.